I'm recording now. I don't know how it's gonna look like, but sige. So, how do we start? How do we do this?
Yeah, so, grabe, Pinggoy, long time.
Long time talaga.
Gano'ng tagal ba yun?
I don't know, we met what? 2002? Basta high school pa ako noon eh.
I was 8.
That's right. Wow. You were like half of our age. Tapos ngayon, like, it's not really too different in age na.
Grabe.
Saan ka ngayon?
I'm in another country in the Middle East.
Wow, I heard medyo mas okay dyan ng pandemic, no?
Oh, people here are vaccinated and very dynamic yung government sa pag-adapt.
Yeah, but syempre, I mean, here in the Philippines, sobrang dami din kasi natin, so, diba, it's much harder to I guess,
everyone's at home? Where are you right now exactly?
Ngayon, nasa WeWork ako. I have a WeWork desk sa BGC. So, minsan when I need to work and the internet's much faster, di ba? So, malapit lang din naman, tsaka hindi naman ako go into crowds. And konti lang pumupunta eh. So, I don't feel like mataas yung risk.
How long do you stay at home?
Well, as much as I can. I don't really go out if I don't need to, right? But, hopefully in the next months or so, medyo mag-improve sana yung situation. But I guess at this point, kanya-kanyang discipline and like, huwag ka na lang mahawa para hindi ka makahawa. So,
yun nga, I heard my friends say just stay home and scroll on their phones all day.
Right.
Yun na yung naging option ngayon.
Or like, mag-internet ka sa laptop, tablet, or just... Like my kids, my 8-year-old son, yung school niya for the past year, online lahat eh, di ba? So, doon na rin sila lalaki. Like, meron silang mga play dates online, naglalaro sila ng Minecraft or like some app. Tapos, nag-video call sila ng classmates niya. Yun yung socializing nila eh.
Wow. Ang layo sa atin dati, no? Counter-Strike.
Yeah, that's how we met, right? Dati, internet cafe, doon ka lang magkaka-friends dahil sa games. Yeah. And I think going back to what you said on everyone's on their phones, parang ang bilis lang nung feeling ko in the next few years or like, within our lifetimes, hindi natin maintindihan ano yung level of technology tsaka, digital life that everyone is going into.
It's actually exciting also for someone like me, like us, na aware of the trends, environment, and what might happen in the next 5 years. Parang nakakatano rin ng yung peace of mind, nakakatulong when you have information on what's to come. What happened naman on my end during the lockdown, kasi I live by myself, so I don't have a family yet. I don't have a kid. So I just spend, if I didn't have the awareness for it or the discipline, I would have done the same thing that I was doing in the last, I don't know, since smartphones started. Baka I would have just used the lockdown to spend all my time on my phone unproductively. So I was able to, it felt right for me to assess where I put my time. And dali kasing makita pag nasa bahay ka lang saan napupunta yung oras. So I would do some workouts, I would cook, and then, wow, natuto magluto. And then I spent siguro about an hour and a half each day scrolling on Reddit. So our mga daily discussions doon. And that's how I was familiar with yung, what do you call this, using the different exchanges there are for cryptocurrency. I was actually quite surprised nga that you were into it kasi I don't know many people na Filipinos who are into it right now who have looked into it as an alternative. I wouldn't say na it should be your main business, but I believe it's something that everyone and anyone can do. Parang as long as you know how to use Zoom, and especially if nakapag Counter-Strike ka na dati or something, mafi-figure out mo how to set up a trading account with the app exchanges that we have today.
That makes sense. And I think I remember nag-message ka sa akin last year. Siguro mga right after lockdown pa lang yun. I think I remember someone needed to pay you and they were in a different country and they had to use Bina.
Yeah.
Right? So
Actually, now naman I did the same thing. I paid for this. There's an option to pay for this online using ETH and BTC. So when I was about to press the button to pay in ETH, I changed my mind. Buti na lang kasi it's at 2.5 na kanina when I saw it. Dollars, yeah. Crazy.
all-time high.
So how did you get into this? Does Drake know about this na? Gets na niya?
Well, I don't think he knows much about it, pero he knows that I research and like I watch a lot of YouTube channels. Siguro nag-start ako getting interested in mga 2017. I didn't really buy yet kasi nung time na yun, I was working for a local conglomerate. Syempre, you needed to watch business news and then trends and what have you, di ba? But at that time, lagi lang nag-news nung siguro quarter 3 going into quarter 4 ng 2017 na the price was just going up and up and up, right? I think nag-start siya ng mga 1,000 US. This is Bitcoin, right? And it went all the way to 20,000. And I remember posting pa nga na the minute that it's always on the news, it's already too late. So I didn't buy it, right? Pero I never stopped wanting to learn about it kasi parang ano ba itong Bitcoin na to? Like, why is it important? How do I get to know more about it? And then, is it something I need to spend time on? So, 2017 onwards, I kept on reading about it, watching mainly YouTube videos actually. And then reading, dami rin kasi online na, articles that are, makikita mo naman which ones are a waste of your time and which ones you get something out of it, right? So,
actually, tama ka. Daming information overload. And you have to form your own beliefs kasi when you do a research on something. And that goes to the core of who you are. Yun dun magiging basis kung ano yung magiging stand mo on things. What type of investor you are, how you spend your money, how long from now do you need it. So for example, there's a couple of people who are very close to me. And I remember, Pingo, I realized na learning about this currency, it takes humility rin on the part of people, especially those with experience, seasoned individuals in different industries kasi it sounds new, especially to people na galing sa isang third world country like us. Pero here, like in Dubai, there's a bank here na merong cryptocurrency. Ano siya? Talagang it's a bank for cryptocurrency lang. Physical bank. Ang galing, ano? So I think that's where they store the ledgers and stuff.
A lot of the people use it.
So it takes humility. Pero I think if I'm not mistaken, Czech Republic, they teach it in kindergarten already. So with that said, the people who are close to me, alam naman natin na sanay tayo sa bangko natin tinatago yung cash natin. But then makalumang paraan na pala iyon. So when I dove deep into how gold started, how back started, when I say I dive deep, my attention is very short kasi. So when I watch a YouTube video, kaya ko lang mga hanggang 30 minutes. So I wouldn't say na I spent a lot of time researching. Once I grasped the concept, sabi ko, this is something na I believe in na. So what happened was, yung mga malapit lang sa akin, parang hindi ko naman ma-encourage yung mga hindi ko ka-close kasi it's a personal thing when you talk about finances. So I try to limit it to maybe less than 10 people in my life, unless they see me making a trade, then they ask. Pero on my phone through the app. So there's a few people, I mentioned to them, uy, I got some extra money from a gig that I did back in December. I put it in this investment. I wouldn't say it's a business, it's an investment. I traded it. I bought 12,000 pesos worth. That time I think I got ETH. And then sabi nung ka-close ko, best friend ko yun, sabi niya, ikaw, bahala ka. Yung ganon. Parang, pero mo yan. Parang hindi siya naniniwala, di ba? And then it's so funny. I think 2 months later lang, yung isang mentor namin who lives in the States, in Tennessee, mentioned to them, I have this X amount in this when it was this amount. Now it's worth this. Sabi niya, ganun pala yun? Sabi ko, I said the exact same thing. And you were only open when someone with a bigger pile of money spoke to you about it. Kasi it's called the pile theory daw. People only listen to you when your pile of money is bigger than theirs.
That makes sense.
Makes sense, right?
Lalo na sa Pilipinas.
Oo, totoo. So, ako naman on my part, talagang mas malaki talaga yung niya. Grabe, yung bank account niya than me. So, it was funny kasi after that, he was humble enough na to ask. So what I told him, okay, first thing you do, don't go on the internet. So I told this person, I'll just, you trust me naman, I'll point you to the right direction. Ito lang yung articles na basahin mo. Actually, that's what I did. When I was doing my research pa lang on this, parang, just in case I believe in this, and I wanna maximize my time kasi Pinoy. Like, my ate Dulce, she was telling me this morning na some Filipinos, they're not yet used to the smarter way of managing time. That's something that we can improve on also as a parang next generation, yung sa atin. We can learn from that. And I realized na there are lots of things right now na we can use as a tool that we can leverage on para yung time natin hindi masyadong masayang. So that's one way that we were able to do it in a very organized way. Kasi kung ano yung sinend ko dun sa person na yun, letter M, I also sent it to a husband and wife. And then from them, what I sent to them, I also sent it to a couple, Filipinos also. They reside here in the Middle East. And it's so funny kasi they didn't look at other information outside of what I shared with them. Syempre they're free to do that naman. Pero ang sabi ko lang, para hindi na mag-waste ng time or para hindi ka maligaw, use this as a foundation na lang and then look at other articles later on. So it's so cool kasi I think that was like Saturday yata. I stepped over their place so that I can help set the Binance account, yung registration, ganyan. You have to walk people through it eh. Tapos we connected it through a TV, flat screen naman, so dali naman siyang nagawa. After the registration, there's different ways eh, yung GCash, ganyan. So once the money was there, we bought some coins with, and then I think the following day, gulat sila, Darlene, tumaas na ng in dollars, parang $20 yung binili natin yesterday. Parang we saw it right before their eyes kasi we caught the dip, yung candlestick dip. So, ayun, that's the experience that I've had with it so far.
Yeah.
And it makes me happy.
Tsaka honestly, I also started thinking na gusto kong kumita ng pera, di ba? I mean, that was, I guess, the most interesting part noong una na I just see one number, tapos tumataas siya. So, feeling ko, if maglagay ko ng pera doon, tataas siya, right? Pero I've also observed it in such a long time na tagal ko na rin siyang pinapanood na alam kong as high or as happy as you are when you see it go up, there are times na bababa rin yan. And I've already seen like a 50% decline in portfolio just a few months ago. So, siguro a good point that you raised kanina was you have to get people to understand, to read, or like to, I guess, get to know about it more. Kasi there are times na, especially for Bitcoin, and then, there's many things that you could read. Pero at least to start with Bitcoin, number one, it's the first crypto asset, right? Number two, it essentially invented the space. So kung walang Bitcoin, walang kahit ano. And also, Bitcoin lang yung nanalo na for what it is supposed to be. Right? So this article, The Bullish Case of Bitcoin, I'll just summarize it. I invite everyone to read. But it essentially outlines what Bitcoin's history, a quick glance on ano yung history niya. And then it talks about why bumababa yung supply ng Bitcoin. So over time, mas kumukunti yung available sa market, and the more people want to get it, tumataas yung price, right? But also, the important part is yung origins of money. You mentioned kanina, ano bang gold, and like, ano bang ginagamit ng mga tao to like use as money. It touches on this, pero if you want a deeper dive on the origins of money, there's also this book called The Bitcoin Standard na I listened to an audiobook while driving or like biking, jogging. Kasi siguro mas madali for me, minsan naantok ako when I read a book. So, this was very helpful. Ito talagang deep dive to into the Bitcoin, everything you may be asking about it. But itong bullish case, this is a medium post, 40 minutes to read. And then
if you 40 minutes of read, that can help you save or protect your money, diba? Why not?
Exactly. So it's like a 40-minute investment into something that, time is money, right? Money is, after all, just yung energy mo na nabibilang, right? Think about it in the sense na you use your time so that you can do something that you either get more energy from others or use your energy for work. That's what you're being paid for, yung effort, the work, and time that you put in. And then,
sometimes nga, Pingoy, I feel very guilty about this. Sometimes when I look at an article, minsan may mga words na hindi ako naiintindihan. So what I do, if I have the time, I research the synonym behind it kasi I only finished grade 1. So medyo na-intimidate ako minsan sa long articles. I find the YouTube alternative to it. But sometimes naman I tell myself na just because hindi ko siya alam or naiintindihan, dapat wag ko siyang gawin. I told myself I need to have the discipline to tell myself that I have to learn this or else I might suffer for it in terms of financially in the next 2 to 3 years if I'm not at the very least familiar.
That's a good point. And na-observe ko rin yung son ko ngayon, ang galing nila mag-Google Ang galing nila mag-search Kasi they're coming with a beginner's mind, right? So, wala rin silang pride na
yun.
So, hindi ko na...
Leadership principle din yun. Mm-hmm.
Right. So, I mean, I would not pretend na sobrang nag-gets ko agad in one reading to. Ang maganda kasi ngayon, you can just Google something and then learn more about it.
You also check tweets. Pag nandadaya ako, I check summaries via Twitter. What people say about a book, ganyan.
Exactly. Minsan, that's helpful. Makikita mo kung ano yung useful for you in a short form. And then...
Imagine yung mga kakilala natin sila PJ, no? Pwede rin nila itong malaman.
Yeah. Ito, magandang start to. Itong bullish case for Bitcoin. So in summary, it talks about history of money, but also bakit siya important, it talks about since it's always gonna be fixed, 21 million lang ang Bitcoin, you can't really mess with it. No one government or person or walang may control So in a sense, it's the first time na in the history of human beings, something reliable in the sense na hindi siya ini-influence ng tao.
Freedom.
Prone to error, right? Human to err is human. And more importantly, I think this is what struck me with Bitcoin. It's something na if you just took the time to understand, it's the process of understanding it that makes you want to understand other things then.
Yes.
It's a rich topic na it's a journey in itself. Yeah, go ahead and I invite you to read the part na I think it talks about yung current money kasi natin is just essentially decisions by governments or politicians. So baka maging useful for people to learn to save. To use Bitcoin as their savings, it's more protected, right? Mas reliable.
Nagbabago na kasi mundo natin, so we live in a physical world, so it's good to have a bank. We also live in a digital world, so it's good to have currency in that area. And I have a 13-year-old who I just spoke to, I think 2 days ago. He's like, so how does it work again? And I'm like, di ba you play Roblox? What do you call the currency there? Then he said it, Robux yata. Sabi ko, imagine if you keep leveling up in Roblox, whatever you earn there, you can use to buy outside of it. Like later you can buy the groceries, the coffee that we're gonna have. Really? That would be cool. Ganun yung reaction niya. Filipino yun pero he grew up here. So, young people get it kasi they live in a digital world than the physical world. And that's where we're going in the next 2 to 5 years, at least.
Absolutely. Tignan mo nung 1991, Hindi ka pa
Hindi pa kabuhay nun.
Right? It was illegal for Americans to use the internet. Can you imagine? 1991 lang. Ako, alam kong buhay na ako nun eh. So, hindi siya ganun katagal na panahon, ago. It was illegal for the internet to be used. Ngayon, can you imagine not using the internet? Pero yung current usage of Bitcoin, currently, can be compared in terms of number of people using Bitcoin. The same number of people use Bitcoin now as the number of people who used the internet in 2008. So can you imagine where the internet was in 2008? And this is money made for the internet. Kasi, so maybe the most common question I get is, teka, nakakabayad naman sa mga tao using GCash and like PayPal or like Swift, right? What isn't known by many, actually, sobrang daming banks that have to talk to each other for those payments to happen. Whereas in Bitcoin, in 10 minutes, transfer na yung Bitcoin without any human intervention. Anyway, it's really just technology. It's nothing really...
That's what it's supposed to do for us. It's supposed to work for us. So what happened was, I told myself, wag muna, tsaka na, yung I wanted it to stand the test of time. In concept, in theory, I get it. Pero I wanted to wait for the medyo mass adoption. Gulat na lang ako, these things started to pop up. I think July, mga big news ng July, December, but what really got to a lot of people? Good thing, I got in, mga $17,000 at that time, tapos ETH 634, tapos BNB 100 plus. Crazy.
A common question that I get is, paano yan? 3 million pesos na isang Bitcoin, 60,000 US, right? Bakit? Paano pa makakabili niyan kung
wala naman akong 1 million, parang ganun.
Exactly.
3 million pala.
What you're saying is madaming, pumapasok na yung malalaking institutions, tapos mas madaming pera na gustong bumili ng Bitcoin. Paano pa bibili yung every person, right? So, siguro it's good to clear na 1 Bitcoin is divisible by 100 million pieces, or that's called a Satoshi, or more commonly, people call it a Sat, or Sat, kasi abbreviated Satoshi, right? So, pag may nakita ka nagtitweet or nagpo-post na I'm stacking sats, they're just saying na they're saving more Satoshis, right?
Tama, kasi with like the price of a meal, let's say for example, this one, pagkain, whenever I order something, I don't think in the currency anymore. I think in BTC na or Satoshis. So for example, I order, ko-convert ako agad, magkano to sa peso? Magkano to sa dollars? Kano to? Baka 3 months, 3 weeks from now. Huwag na, masyadong mahal. Mas mura na lang orderin ko. So it also helped me develop a good saving habit. Kasi any extra change that I have, kasi nga yung common thing that we feel intimidated na dapat I have to have 3 million. Nako, yung isang best friend ko, sabagay, isa lang naman siya. Sabi niya, saka na ako maglalagay kapag nag-ipon na ako ng 5 million, 3 million. Mga ganun yata sinabi ko, malala. Sabi ko, too late at that time. Parang ganun yung sabi ko sa kanya. Kasi actually, the best way now is to start with whatever you have now. Kahit 200 pesos lang yan, 500 pesos. Kasi it's the little things that add up. Anything you do consistently. Dun siya, maybe it doesn't become 3 million when you start with 500 pesos. Pero that's still 500 pesos. That might be worth 1,500 in December. At the very least, with the way things are going now. It's bullish. Ano ba yung sabihin ng bullish?
Well, dalawa lang yun eh. It's either bull or bear. So, it's, I think, term siya sa Wall Street and like all those finance people. I'm not really a finance person so much. Pero, hindi si bullish, pataas. Pag bearish, pababa.
Gotcha. It sounded cool, so I adopted it. Ganun lang.
Yeah, Americano, favorite yan.
Thank you for your time. I really enjoyed this kasi it's very rare to find someone in the Philippines who also enjoys looking at this, talks about this, but at the same time, hindi intimidating. Kasi meron naman ako mga kakalala na, they're a bit old na, 2 to 3 years our age. They have they invested in Bitcoin in 2018. Pero parang nakakahiya sila kausapin about this. Kaya at least I have you as a friend na I can go to your channel, ganyan.
Yeah, and thanks for spending time din. Kasi I think yun rin yung gusto kong mangyari. Like, even sa mga closest friends ko, alam ko naman na hesitant sila to like reach out or just talk about. Kasi like you said, personal thing siya, di ba? But I just feel it too important na Bitcoin is not just about money or it's not just about making money in the short term. Because siguro I close with that, there's two things that are very different, right? One is investing, one is trading. When you're investing, you're putting your money in something that you feel like in the future is better for you, right? You know something about it that you're willing to hold on to it for a long time. When you're trading, this is more, medyo dapat magaling ka dito. Professional game na yan eh. Alam mo yung price, alam mo yung style, or like command sa mga exchange. So, some people may make money this year on it dahil everything is blowing up. But when
the season ends, hindi na ganyan.
Yeah. Pag nag-iba na yung tono, you have to stick to what you know. So, yeah, and you mentioned like a channel. So, siguro anyone watching this may be in that YouTube channel now. But I know you're also doing public speaking. Maybe we'll do a lot more collaboration to like get our friends talking about it. And I think my first video was just really an attempt. Pero we're gonna help each other build more content on this, right?
Yeah, I would only be comfortable to do it with someone like you kasi you're somebody that I trust. I don't know if you remember this, Pingoy, pero before, in between breaks, kasi pag nagka-Counter-Strike, I don't know kung nag-iossi ka pa, pero pag nagka-Counter-Strike sa dati, Dota, I don't smoke naman. So, sumasama ako sa kanila kasi kwentuhan, that's the highlight minsan yung kwentuhan. And then I remember, I told Pingoy, uy, Pingoy, I didn't tell you that I wasn't in school. I was an out-of-school youth. Pero I told you, Pingoy, I have this idea. What if we put this thing and then maraming stores nationwide? Kasi kakalala ko yung may-ari ng isang malaking drug store place, chain in the Philippines. So I asked his opinion. Nagulat ako. And this is why my respect for Pingoy is there. Kasi kahit tanungin mo siya ng equation, business model at 4 a.m. or the evening or the afternoon, makakasabi siya ng magandang reasonable, sensible na sagot. I asked him, Pingoy, if I had this product and it was put in these number of stores nationwide, how much will I earn? And then you told me, ito yung kikitain, pero ito yung consider mo dyan. Dapat may ganito ka, may ganito ka, may ganito. At that time, I was 16. You told me hindi yan simple, may inventory yan or something. I don't remember na. Pero sabi ko, ganun pala yun. So dun pa lang ako nagkaroon ng exposure sa anything that has to do with the process of setting up a business. So I didn't go to school naman and I was 16 lang at that time. So tumatak yun sa akin, yung trust ko sa'yo nandun. And seeing you now become a father, I looked at your Facebook profile kasi puro ganun na lang, di ba? Wala tayong masyadong time na mag-catch up. Pero over the years, I remember the first time na uso si Drake, kami yung magkakasama. Kaya it was pretty cool for me to see na you named your son Drake. And it was also amazing for me to see na you were di ba, former GM of a huge company, multinational. Yeah, so I'm proud. I'm proud na nakalala kita, nakita kita magbinata, Nax. Tapos ngayon may asawa ka na.
You're too kind. Yeah, those were really good times.
How's your mom?
She's doing well, thank you. Yeah.
How old is she now?
She's about 67.
She must be very proud of you.
Sure. Yeah.
Nakapili ka ng mahusay na asawa. Any parent would be proud na you made the good choice.
Dapat lang, no? That's the biggest decision anyone has to on their own make, right? So, buti na lang nakachamba.
I'm sure you both are lucky to have each other. Katuwa, I hope I can see her kahit sa Zoom, your kids.
Yeah.
And stay safe from this pandemic.
Yeah, we'll speak soon. I'm sure madami tayo.
Let's send Let's send this video to our closer friends, yung mga kalaro natin noon at least.
Right, comment sila. I'm sure maghihiritan sila sa comment section and like
Wag na natin i-send.
Pero
mabubuli pa ako niyan.
Ganun naman ang internet ngayon eh. So good.
Sa bagay. Buti na sa kanila manggaling yung pambubuli kaysa sa iba.
Right. Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And
have a good one today.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.